When your story has been all about surviving, what happens next? Who are you? What do you want? What do you believe? What do you feel? Being in places where I felt like no one could help me, and everyone was trying to fit me into a box that worked for them, for what they thought I needed. And I was really good at faking it. I was really good at acting like I was okay when I wasn't.
As a trans person, as a mixed race person, as a queer person in general, I've always found belonging to be difficult.
Being in spaces that may be uncomfortable, where the disconnection and some of that, we all have been in places where we're like, ooh, this just doesn't feel right. That has happened, and that's even happened in hotels and working in, say, conference places and things of that nature.
Since 2018, Imiloa has held a single question. What does inclusive, safe belonging feel like? Not for one body, for everybody. Retreats led by BIPOC leaders now account for 30% of our hosts. We've walked beside these hosts holding so much for so many, learning what it means to honor a lived experience. This is their story.
A lot of the women that we serve, they're a lot like we've been in our personal journey, where you get to the point where you want to settle into the fact that you don't have to work to do another thing to create worthiness. You can just be, and that's enough.
Many of the women we serve don't realize they've been conditioned in a role since they were a child. And we don't often realize how that role carries through in our life. Until one day you realize that, man, I am still trying to please everybody. You've done it so much your entire life that you don't even know what you like. We had a woman in our tribe say, I don't even know how I like my eggs. I make eggs for everybody in my family to the way they like them, and I don't even know how I like my eggs because I just eat whatever's left over from them.
Over the last 10 years, I've spent time life coaching people one-on-one. I've hosted support groups for hundreds of trans people. I've given speeches to thousands of people. And one of the things I've noticed is, yes, we can always advocate for better rights and better visibility and safety for trans people, but ultimately, we trans people have to figure out how to survive this world as well.
I find that it's more of creating those containers that individuals from that background or identity have to be in community to feel an essence of safety they may not feel externally. Oftentimes, my BIPOC community does not always feel that they have self-agency. They don't always feel empowered to be their whole selves out in the world. Some of that could be our own internal work that we're going through, but some of it is a reality, right? It is a full reality. If you are a marginalized individual, there are many times that you feel that you can't show up as your authentic self.
At Imiloa, stories matter. Identities are honored, welcomed, and our team works hard to educate themselves and understand where our guests are coming from. We want to celebrate what makes us all profoundly human. Because when we create a safety for people who have been denied safety for far too long, the whole world begins to heal.
Oftentimes I hear people, just wanting to align with people who look like them or talk like them or behave like them. But growth really happens when there's some contrast there. Now, we need the similarities, we need the synergy, we need all of that. And yet I found that some of my greatest opportunities for growth have come with people who show me the contrast and stretch not just who I say I am, but how I really am showing up.
100%. And, even because, my community is, specifically for Black women, but we're all different. we all come from like different faith systems. We all come from different life perspectives, all have different lived experiences. It's very interesting, even in the coaching sphere of what I do, to witness women who I work individually with show up in community, because it gives me the opportunity to be like, right? Yes. Right? The loneliness, and this is how the loneliness is like showing up in spaces with others. And so it allows me to see them and to show them as well. So yeah, there is no healing without community.
Absolutely.
This beautiful place that is in the middle of nature, jungle, forest, you call it what you want, the plants, the sounds, the staff, the community that is already here, we were like, this aligns with not only our intention, but our energy. It aligns with who we are when we smile. It aligns with how we want to show up, even when women get here and we're just saying hello and giving a hug. So we were like, you know, this could be something amazing.
One of the things that I felt here at Imiloa, even though it's only been a short stay, is that sense of openness and that belonging. I don't feel that anybody's scrutinizing my body or thinking strangely about trans people. I just feel that I'm able to be here. And my hope is that that can be translated to all of my participants, given that they'll all be trans, that we can be here in an openness that allows us to step into our own vulnerability and build strength from that.
What I find is interesting is that we have these different identities that help us feel more connected and safe in many spaces. It is not to dilute, right? It is not to say us versus them. It's really important to me that we don't get into a us versus them experience, right? Like we don't, of course we need that for women, and of course we need that for young people, whatever the case is. But I will say that what's most important is honoring the lived experience of your people.
Being in spaces where people had the opportunity to get to know me, where people who saw the divinity in me and in themselves showed up fully to kind of like pull me out of the lies I was telling myself, and were honest enough with me to hold me accountable, is what saves me, because I continue to be in those spaces. And so offering that to other Black women, specifically Black women who can see God in everybody else except for themselves, is important to me, because it brings my journey full circle.